every hour, every step of every way. We need you every minute.
When a Boy Comes Around, August 24th, 2020. I made my first proposal to my wife in December of 2010. Strictly speaking, it was not a proposal. I was merely letting her know how I felt. She graciously said no and sent me on my way. In hindsight, I realized she was right in saying no and sending me away, and I was wrong in my lame proposal. I am not saying this because I know I would have messed things up if she said yes back then, though as sure as gold is precious, I would have. I am saying it because my thinking at the time was selfish, and to a large extent, that is what I want to talk about today. Men should get married, not boys. Men should be the ones to propose to women and not boys, because men are the ones who will take responsibility for their actions. Do not awaken love before it desires is a threat in every considerable metric, because when you open that door, you have to deal with everything you find on the inside. So what are the signs that a boy is knocking at the door and not a man? What is a man? The first thing we need to appreciate is that there is a difference between a boy and a man, and that the definitions have little to do with age. It is just as possible to find a 14-year-old man as it is to find a 45-year-old boy. We do not have the time to get into the full definitions, so for the sake of time, I will say the difference between a man and a boy is a difference of character and not a difference of stature. And so a man is what a boy isn't. In 1 Corinthians 13 verse 11, we are given a glimpse into the contrast between a man and a boy. The Apostle Paul says a boy is childish and a man is mature. Within the context of the passage, he is referring to spiritual gifts and how some of them are for a short time, tongues, prophecy, and the like, while others are permanent, faith, hope, and love. The boy is one who chases after the temporary because they are flashy in their nature, while a man, in his maturity, chases after the permanent ones because they are the greatest. The book of Titus also gives us another glimpse into the difference between a boy and a man, though it does not reference them as such. The man is fit for leadership, while the boy is not. The man is mature and disciplined enough to be a husband of one wife. He is respectable and not given to debauchery or disrespect of authority. The man is mature and disciplined enough to be the husband of one wife. He is respectable and not given to debauchery or disrespect of authority. The passage is worthy of much meditation, as are many others in the Bible that show the stark contrast between a boy and a man. What we can say for sure is that the man is disciplined, respectable, and mature in his pursuits. This is important to appreciate because it is something that is missing when a lot of boys are looking for a relationship. Before I get into the anecdotal, I have to say that I am equipped to speak on such things for two reasons. The first has to be mentioned, but the second is one that really counts. First, I have been there. As I mentioned at the beginning, my first proposal to my wife could not even count as a proposal. It was immature and unloving, but I did not know it at the time. I was not thinking of her well-being. I was thinking of mine and assumed what was in my best interest would automatically be in hers. That was the thinking of a boy. But even more importantly, the second reason is that I do not stand on the platform of experience, but on the platform of the scriptures. The message of salvation of Christ is taken forward by men and not boys, because boys give in when the pressure comes. It is not in their best interest to stand by what the scriptures say in the face of pressures of work, success, money, and women. The Bible is what transforms boys into men of substance. Without it, you have zero chance. Do not kid yourself. The Clumsy Boy. The first sign that a boy has come around is that boys are clumsy. They approach in what they think is silence, but in reality is the noisiest approach possible. It is so noisy that a lot of people around know why the boy is present even when he thinks he is slick. The boy isolates the girl from the very beginning, usually based on appearance, and in what he thinks is stealth mode, goes from 0 to 180 kilometers per hour by talking to her every day or every other day. If the poor lady is excited by the attention, she entertains it, not knowing that the boy will be gone just as quick as he showed up, because that is what clumsy boys do. They make a mess of the basic. We should not attribute malicious intent to the boy in such a situation. We cannot read the heart, and love hopes all things, in that it gives the benefit of the doubt rather than assuming sinister motives. It is possible his clumsiness is not malicious, he merely lacks wisdom. When a man comes around, he is careful not to awaken love in the woman before the right time. That is the right time for her and them, and not just the right time for him. The man is not selfish, so he is careful and patient to do more watching and waiting to see if the woman is right for him, but even more so if he is right for her. Most of the time, the boy is clumsy because of a lack of belief in God. He does not believe and know that the horse is made ready for the day of battle, but the victory belongs to the Lord. Proverbs 21, verse 31. He thinks if he does not move now, the chance will be gone. The careless boy. This is one who is cultivating multiple friendships with the ladies, hoping that one will jump out above the others and that will be his final target. He is a gambler, going from one slot machine to the other, rolling the wheel to see what hits, or worse, a football manager who selects a short list of targets and engages all of them in negotiations, hoping to go for the highest cost-benefit ratio. And here we see the features of a boy clearly. He treats the ladies like objects for his amusement, like toys. He does not care who he awakens love in. It is all about his quest. For him, as long as he has not told the person he likes them and started a relationship with them, he is in the clear. When a man comes around, he is one who loves, not just the friend he wishes to marry, but all his friends. That is why he is not careless with his friendships. His friendships with the ladies are not ultimately because he is in pursuit of his future wife, and so he does not gamble and create a short list for his own amusement. He is friendly, not for his own benefits, but because love looks out for the best interests of the other ahead of oneself. This does not mean he is everywhere and careless. Instead, it means he is helpful and careful with his friendships. Even as he asks for advice, he is careful because he wishes to guard her heart. That is love. That is the action of a man. The clueless boy. This is the one with no idea where he is going, all the while asking someone to come alongside him. Every Christian knows that the special relationship between a man and a woman should have marriage as its end goal, so we are not asking about the obvious. Marriage is a union in life's journey. As you marry, you say you will be together until death parts you. But life is not stagnant. It is a journey, and you, as a man, are asking someone to come alongside you for that journey. Shouldn't you at least know where you're going? What does courtship look like when she says yes to begin the relationship with you? Do you merely form a small ring around the two of you and isolate one another until the death parts you? What will your involvement in the lives of others look like? What does involvement in the life of the community, and especially the church, look like? You know a boy has come around when there is no plan for any of this. You will get involved with the daughter of the Most High God and make her worse and less effective for God than she was when you found her. When a man comes around, he has a plan. It may not be fully formed, but he at least has one. He desires for his relationship to be more than just about him and the girl, but a reflection of a relationship that honors God. There is time for one another, but if all you ever do is be with one another, then it is clear who your God is. Some use the excuse of reading the Bible and praying together, but think about this a little. What use is it to spend all your time storing up knowledge if you are never going to use it? Does this remind you of anyone in the Bible? The servant who was given 1 talent, perhaps. He made no effort to grow it and thought merely safekeeping it was enough. A man is a good and disciplined steward. Read Titus 1 and 2 for yourself again and seek the picture of a godly man. What I am not saying. I have a deep distaste for disclaimers because it has a way of lessening the overall point I wish to make. But lest I fall into the trap of Joshua Harris, I will include this section. If you are looking for the prosperity gospel, you are in the wrong location. God does not owe you anything, and the sooner you come to terms with that, the better. Becoming a man does not guarantee you will find a wife. What it guarantees is you becoming a man. Your aim is not to become a man so that you can win over a woman. It is becoming a man so that you may live a life of faithful and loving obedience to God. It is about him, not her. Notice that most of the descriptions in the Bible about what a man must be are not about service to her, but service to him. Ladies, a little message for you too in closing. When a boy comes around, the best thing you can do for him is tell him what he is doing and send him packing. If you merely send him packing, he will think the problem was just you and go practice on another lady. If you merely tell him without sending him packing, you are not giving him the time to go and reflect and change. You cannot change a boy into a man. Only God is in the business of conversion, and you are not God. If you love your brothers in the Lord, you will correct them graciously and not just giving them a harsh rebuke or warning your friends about him in a way that qualifies as gossiping. The aim is to help one another because we want the best for our brothers and sisters in the Lord. This is far from a closed topic, but I hope it gives some insight for the next time a boy comes around.
And when